For a super long time, choosing a safe paint color, it felt like the smartest decision you could make. Neutral, flexible, inoffensive. The kind of color that wouldn't scare you, wouldn't scare buyers, and wouldn't scare the internet. All your friends on the socials. And for a while, that strategy kind of worked. The problem is that safety slowly turned into default. And when enough homes start making the same default decisions, those choices stop feeling timeless and start feeling dated. In 2026, what I'm seeing isn't people rejecting neutrals or whites. It's people realizing that playing it safe without intention has consequences. One of the clearest examples of this is ultra clean whites chosen purely for safety. High chroma, high LRV whites like good old Chantilly lace or Sherwin-Williams high reflective white. They're often selected because they felt neutral and resale friendly and super bright, reflecting all the light, which is nice, right? The issue isn't that these whites are bad, it's that when they're used everywhere, like walls, trims, ceilings, they truly flatten spaces and remove any sense of depth. And it just looks kind of crazy to me.
You're a crazy person.
In real homes, they can feel stark, unfinished, and emotionally cold. People are realizing that white paint only feels timeless when it's chosen thoughtfully, not automatically. Ultra clean whites chosen purely because they feel safe are starting to age faster than people expected. When a white is selected only to avoid risk, it often lacks softness, warmth, or depth. Ultra white or extra white can work beautifully in the right context, but when they're used as a default everywhere, the space feels more like a blank backdrop than a finished home. People are starting to gravitate towards white paint colors with a little bit more character, a little bit more fun, a little more offness. Ones that still feel clean but not sterile. And that subtle shift away from maximum brightness, cranked all the way up, is one of the earliest signs that safe is no longer the same as timeless. Another category that's quietly losing ground is soft, gray beige neutrals that don't have a clear backbone.
Creamy, soft, creamy beige.
Colors like Benjamin Moore Edgecombe Gray or Pale Oak technically behave very well. The undertones are fairly controlled, especially Edgecombe. LRVs are reasonable, nothing really clashes, but they were often chosen to disappear. And that's kind of the issue. These colors don't really lean warm enough to feel cozy, and they don't lean cool enough to feel intentional. Over time, they can just make a space feel indecisive. In 2026, people aren't looking for walls that vanish, they're looking for subtle richness, neutrals that support the space instead of completely avoiding it. Now, cool grays deserve a fair conversation here because they didn't become popular by accident. Cool gray colors like Benjamin Moore's Stonington Gray or Sherwin-Williams Repose Gray, they worked extremely well when stainless steel appliances dominated kitchens. The crisp whites we talked about earlier and cool grays, they often reinforced each other, creating this very clean modern look that felt current for a long time. The problem is that interiors ended up changing. Wood tones, they warmed up. Stone became more expressive. Mixed metals replaced single finish spaces. Lighting softened. No more 30 pot lights in the basement. We just got a couple maybe, and some beautiful warm floor lighting. In these new environments, gray stopped acting as a connector and started acting like an interruption. Interrupting cow? Cool gray paint colors are starting to look dated not because they were wrong, but because the context around them completely changed. As kitchens and homes introduced all these warmer woods and softer lightings, gray was totally just disconnected. Gray did not fail in my books, it just stopped solving the problem it was hired to solve. Yellow-leaning cream neutrals are another group that's quietly aging, especially in newer homes. Colors like Benjamin Moore's Swiss Coffee, or warmer cream-based neutrals in general, they were long associated with coziness and traditional warmth. In modern spaces, with flatter light and cleaner materials, those yellow undertones can feel heavy or sometimes even muddy. Instead of warmth, they sometimes read a bit dull. I find people are becoming much more sensitive to undertones, and yellow-forward neutrals are no longer the default comfort choice they once were. This is where testing colors properly becomes critical, because a safe color on paper can behave very differently once it's in a real space. Kitchens, open concept homes, and rooms with mixed lighting are especially unforgiving. A lot of regret comes from trusting the idea of the color instead of the reality of it. That's why testing matters. Being able to see a color next to your floors, furniture, and finishes and live with it for a few days tells you far more than a paint chip ever will. This is why I like Sampleize, our channel sponsor. Their peel and stick samples let you test real Benjamin Moore and Sherwin-Williams colors in your actual space without committing to paint. You can see undertones, depth, and how a color behaves before making a permanent decision. I'll put our Sampleize link down below if you want a smarter way to test colors before committing, and by clicking that link, it's a wonderful and easy way to support our channel as well. We appreciate it, and we appreciate Sampleize for sponsoring today's video. Yellow-leaning cream neutrals and those mid to light disappearing colors are starting to feel dated for the same reason. They were chosen to avoid mistakes instead of to support the space. And when a color is selected purely to stay out of the way, it often ends up feeling unfinished. This year, people still want calm interiors, but calm doesn't mean invisible. Subtle richness, intentional undertones, and colors that gently anchor a room are replacing neutrals that were designed to completely vanish into the background. The common thread across all of these safe colors is caution without intention. These colors weren't bad, they were useful, quite handy in a lot of cases, but usefulness alone doesn't guarantee longevity. It's a bit of a placeholder color, kind of like Dove Wing upstairs before I painted it. Timeless spaces aren't built from fear of making the wrong choice, they're built from understanding context, materials, and how a space is actually lived in. Go figure. And that's why some of the safest paint colors of the last decade are starting to feel dated now.